After only 2 days out on the tour, Colby, Luke, and I had already covered over 470 miles, and we had spent over 32 hours of the available 48 in the saddle. We were tired and we were ready for a shorter mileage day, but we would need some luck and for things to go smoothly in order to make that happen, since shorter mileage doesn't always translate to shorter hours out on the trail, especially if things don't go according to plan. We started day 3 by leaving Arco and heading across the valley into the foothills, and then up to our first challenge point of the day, Arco Pass. As you leave Arco, you might notice a submarine buried under the ground. It's actually just the sail of the naval submarine, the USS Hawkbill. You may notice that the ship carries an unusual number, which was actually its assigned designation, but because of the number it has been nicknamed the Devil Boat. It's also called the Submarine in the Desert. It was placed here after being decommissioned in the year 2000 to honor Arco's long association with the Navy and its nuclear fleet in particular. Fun fact, for just 60 minutes on July 17, 1955, Arco, Idaho was the first city on Earth to be solely lit by nuclear electricity.
Just leaving Arco. Day 3 headed to Leadore. Over a little bit of mystery section today. Went down with the sun in our face, or went to bed, and now we're waking up. Here comes the sun.
We estimated that day 3 was only about 150 miles, which is still a really long day on a dirt bike, and we weren't sure what was in store for us. I say we estimated the distance because we weren't really sure. We hadn't been able to study the maps and route of days 3 or 4 yet, and there were some unknown variables. Much of day 3 was new to the T1 route since we last rode it in 2021, and Martin had deemed most of days 3 and 4 as mystery routes. These mystery routes were a bit different than the navigation we did on day 2 through the desert. Instead of compass headings and distances, Martin had sent us these written descriptions of the route consisting of road and trail names, some latitude-longitude coordinates, mileage to different intersections, and landmarks. This information is public knowledge now, so I'm not ruining the surprise for anyone. But for us it was truly a mystery, and we were excited to see what country we would get to cover on our way to Leadore. Another thing worth noting is that each of us were carrying PLB trackers, or personal locator beacons. We carried these for a few reasons. One was so that our wives and other friends and family members could know where we were.
Not plugged in yet.
This way, if our beacons ever stood still too long, they could all just worry a lot. I'm just kidding, sort of. It was a worry if we stopped moving for too long out on the trail, as it most likely meant we were having some kind of trouble. Unless we sent a satellite message through our PLBs, anyone tracking us was just left to wonder what was happening until we started moving again. For someone tracking a team out on a T1, they knew that if a beacon stops moving, it could mean a few different things. We might be having mechanical issues, such as a failing countershaft seal, flat tires, a seized up wheel bearing, or a leaky water pump, or even broken brakes, all of which we would end up encountering on this tour. Obviously, if any of the thousands of working parts that make up today's dirt bikes fail, then it could mean that we would have to stop and fix the problem. Another reason we might stop moving would be to clear the trail of fallen logs or debris or some other impassable obstacle. Or maybe we were just eating lunch by a mountain lake. Or maybe a bike had gone off the trail and we were working to get it back up the side of a mountain. Obviously, the worst reason a team would stop is because of a crash or injury. This last reason is really the main reason we carry our emergency PLBs in the first place. With the technology they provide, we could simply hit an emergency button and our exact location would be sent to search and rescue for extraction if necessary, which gives us and our families a bit more peace of mind than if we were just completely shut off from the world out on the trail. Another thing that our PLBs do is to create a track of where we had been for anyone tracking us to see. Of course, since most of days 3 and 4 were a mystery, and since many of the teams who were scheduled to leave after us were likely watching our progress just as we had been watching the teams who were out ahead of us, we were required to shut off our PLB transmission of our location during the mystery sections over days 3 and 4. We were, however, also required to check in with Martin periodically so that he could be sure all was going well out on the trail.
Arco Pass. Why doesn't it say Arco Pass?
Probably did at one point. Something tells me not a lot of individuals get up this way.
From Arco Pass, we would descend down into the valley once again. And cross over until we hit Sands Canyon Trail. From Sands Canyon, we would climb up and take a few other connecting trails until we came to our second challenge point of the day, Deer Creek Pass.
quite get off. Right. It's not hanging on very good. Thanks. Okay. Oh. It's not the first time that's happened, unfortunately. Came from over there, Arco Pass, and crossed this whole valley. Now we're headed up this way. It's a big valley.
You may have noticed that I'm often plugging in an auxiliary cord. That's for our communication system, and they work great until they don't. The way we set it up was to buy these Bofang two-way dual-band walkie-talkie radios. Then we got some rugged radio brand push-to-talk helmet speaker kits. These came with the microphone, helmet speakers, and a push-to-talk button to mount on our handlebars. We discovered since the tour that there are different versions of this kit. The Moto Max kit has a more rugged plug that connects the helmet kit to the radio. Unfortunately, Colby had purchased the not-so-rugged kit, and after the first day the connection had failed. From that point on, he could hear us through his helmet speakers, but we couldn't hear him unless he manually pushed the talk button and spoke directly into his radio. This was frustrating to say the least, mostly because Colby has the best sense of humor on our team, and his comic relief made the drudgery of the grind go by much smoother.
was a climb.
Yeah. Yeah. Good one. I blew right past Luke.
Really? Did you hear him on the radio or something?
He didn't say right, did he?
No, but I heard him say, Colby.
Yeah, because I went.
That's good. You were focused.
I guess. I wasn't watching my map clearly.
So in 21, when me and Luke did the tour, we went that way on 4217, stayed on it. Oh, well, we're going this way, so because three-person teams go this way, but Luke just said in the walkie that he thinks we're probably the first ones to ride this on the tour, because the other team ahead of us that was a three-person was the Lewis and Clark and Pocahontas, which they actually finished either yesterday or the day before, but they wouldn't have had to go this way. So looks like a pretty well traveled two-track though. Shouldn't run into anything too crazy, but you never know. But it's always good to ride something new too. Although I don't remember hardly any of the stuff we've ridden anyways. Bad memory. Ran into an intersection that we don't really know, but we're thinking we stay right. That looks right. Not sure where that goes. This side of the mountain doesn't get a whole lot of sun. It's pretty dark and shady over here. Not a whole lot of ground growth. Just a big canopy of pines. Pretty fun trail. Start getting some more ground growth now that a little more sun hits. Sure, this is a lot steeper than it looks on the camera. It's a pretty good downhill grade. There's a father and son team from Germany that's a few days ahead of us. I was just thinking I think their last name's Mueller. I'm probably saying that wrong, but or getting it wrong maybe, but they had a stick come up, just one little stick come up and hit their fuel disconnect, I believe it was, and then that led to a series of problems with that and the fuel injector maybe. Anyway, I can't remember, but I was just thinking, we pass all these little rocks and sticks and every little twitch and movement, muscle movement, you know, you go like this to dodge a rock, or like, you know, it just any little movement causes variations. And sometimes, like with this grass, you don't see a big rock. If you're going too fast and there's a side hill, it can shoot you right off. Ooh, see that? I hit a big rock right there. You don't see one on the side and smash your foot. Or like the German team, you don't see a stick and it pops up, and or maybe you even see it and it just catches wrong and pops up and breaks something. That's all the kind of stuff that can go wrong on any ride, but especially a 13-day ride like this. Like Colby had a hole in his case yesterday. You have to know how to fix stuff, and sometimes you just can't fix it, and then that's just how it goes. But I feel bad for those guys because they gave it a try in 21 when Luke and I did it. I think they had an early, or maybe it was 22. Yeah, it was that they tried. Anyways, now I'm just rambling, so I guess I'll stop. But deep thoughts.
You can tell by how disjointed my thoughts are and by how much I seem to be just rambling on to no one in particular that I must be getting some brain fog that's setting in due to fatigue and probably pain. I think I first heard the phrase blowing bubbles from Martin, and it's a real thing. The deeper you get into the tour, the worse it gets. Your decision making gets clouded and everyone gets this glazed over look about them, and the risk of making critical mistakes starts to compound. You simply have to try to get rest, hydration, food, and pain relief whenever you can in order to keep ahead of it. The plus side is that it will probably only get more entertaining from here on out.
And it bam, knocked me off, knocked my foot off the peg. Oh.
Does it hurt bad? You think it's broke?
For a minute, I had to calm myself down a little. I said, I just about lost my foot. But right now, I'm encouraged.
Was it back in that dark stuff?
I'm coming down a hill, and I'm like, got a little sideways, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Oh man.
Hopefully you got some good GoPro in there.
That was
I did.
awesome. That was so good.
That was a long
That's a long, dude. I was thinking the same, like, dude, on ATV, that's a long road.
Yeah. Up there.
That's fun.
So we came down this last time?
Yeah, me and you must have come down this one.
Huh. Yeah, Colby's okay, but yeah, that's what I was saying. One little, he just not concentrating for just a second. Took a stick to the shin. You know, luckily his foot wasn't over the front of the pegs. Just kind of knocked his foot off the peg. You about got to have a billion things go right with a B. It takes a lot of concentration. And then sometimes you get to where you're tired and you still got to concentrate. It's fun though.
From Deer Creek Pass, we would begin navigation using our mystery section directions from Martin. The route would take us on several more valley roads and then eventually head back up over some hills and down to our third challenge point on Donkey Creek Road.
We just got to where we had to turn off our PLB tracking, and now we're just navigating off of Martin's directions that get us over to Leadore. Donkey Creek Road. Head on this for about 12 miles north. I wonder if it's that one way back there that goes up that hill. Probably.
From Donkey Creek Road, we would continue until we found Goldberg Road, and then connect to the North Fork Big Creek trailhead. Martin had attached a photo that he had taken of a spot along this trail that we were supposed to find and take a challenge photo of our own.
This is big country. Nobody out here. Just got on this big main road, came from up out of there. I think this is Goldberg Road. You gotta go about 8 miles that way, and then up. How'd you like to live right there?
I know, look at that little house. Built like a mushroom.
Oh, it's for sale.
From here, we continued on the North Fork Big Creek Trail up a pretty gnarly section of single track to the farthest and tallest of the Twin Peaks summits for our 5th challenge point.
Is this it? Was that the one you were thinking? Oh. Headed up to Devil's Basin. I think. Getting pretty gnarly. Got stuck on a rock, and of course you tip over right into a bog. Then it wears you out picking your bike up. Not sure where the trail went. There it is. Caught on that tree. All right. riding uphill on a river. Guess this is the trail.
Careful going through there. Colby went. I went kind of left up that little chute. I got stuck.
Which way did Colby go?
Rocks can get really slick. Keep that in mind. Try to put boots on the rocks and stuff. Those rocks are slippery as snot on a doorknob.
Whew.
Well done with the heaviest bike of our group. Ooh. I can't even imagine how that chainsaw feels in the front.
You don't notice it too much.
Whatever.
Uh,
The way that it bops over logs and rocks are totally different than what.
Probably.
Oh, no doubt. Some of those holes, it's got to feel like death trying to get it out.
I think Luke and Colby were beginning to realize that I was not doing well through these super gnarly sections. My tailbone injury from day one was really starting to cause me a lot of pain. That, combined with asthma and just being out of shape generally, was all starting to work against me. I'm not trying to make excuses. Okay, I guess I kind of am. But it was times like these that I was really glad to have my team members to help me get through these sections.
Yep. Momentum. Big deal in this stuff.
Amazingly, soloists out on the tour just have to grit through all this on their own.
Nice job. That was a pig.
Sorry, I didn't mean. better? The torture never stops. Gotta make our way through this rock field now.
Sections of trails like this are the times I could maybe be convinced of the benefits of a recluse clutch. From the constant clutch work, you start getting trigger finger, where your forearm muscles start cramping down and you can no longer open your fingers normally. It can be pretty painful. It was here at Twin Peaks that I decided that my tailbone was really bothering me, and I hadn't thought to try to get a look at it myself yet, because who can look at their own backside? Also, while it did hurt, I wasn't going to let it cause me to quit anyways, so I had just been throwing some ibuprofen at it at night before I went to sleep. But now it seemed like maybe it was worth asking Luke and Colby how bad it looked, because it was really starting to bug me. They were hesitant, but agreed, and based on their overwhelming reactions, I told them to take a picture so that I could see. Coming up is the picture. There is slight crack, so be warned.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
I was even surprised at the bruising, and it didn't stop where my dignity did. I wasn't sure if seeing the picture made me feel better or worse, but I had ridden on it for 2 days, so I figured the worst was probably behind me. Get it? I like this challenge photo. I thought it was a good picture, more candid than the rest of them. From Twin Peaks, we would descend down the peak to a valley and trail number 6183, on which we would turn and head up to trail 6185. From there we would hop on Lake Fork Trail, which would take us up over a couple more passes to our next to last challenge photo, Lake Fork Pass.
This is a cool campground.
Anybody know what's here on the weekend? You know the other thought I had? Have you seen a hole out there?
I don't think we have. There was a kid sitting on one of those porches at one of those farms we drove by.
Yeah, I didn't even see him. I think I did see him on that paved road.
Yeah.
Alright, so it says
somebody's been in here doing a ton of clearing. We're very grateful. This is only the little bit that I've filmed up past. Lots and lots of this clearing stuff. Oh, sorry, I couldn't respond. I lost momentum. What'd you say?
From Lake Fork Pass, we would descend an extremely steep rock slide, cross a beautiful high mountain valley, lake included, up to the summit of another extremely steep rock slide. Then we would traverse around a rock slide with an extremely steep side hill into another beautiful high mountain valley, lake included, and finally one last extremely steep climb up a massive rock slide to snag our last challenge photo of the day, Yellow Peak Pass.
Top of that peak look more yellow. Like I wonder if it's another one over further that way. I think so. That picture, I think right towards the top, I think he wants us to take a picture kind of looking back down the switchback.
It looks like it peters out at the top.
Oh, there's a switchback that goes to the right.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke stalled out.
This guy missed a couple switchbacks, guys. It's probably easier than the way I went.
That's a bear. I guess maybe you want to see me fail. lost a few hundred miles in burnt rubber. Guess I'm getting filmed from two places now. I better go.
Good job, Caleb.
Oh yeah. That's steep.
I didn't see very fast either. Very good pass either.
You what?
I didn't choose very good pass. Huh. There's tons of pass to choose.
Might as well film it getting all the way to the top.
From Yellow Peak Pass, we would complete a large loop almost back to this same point, then descend down into the valley and finally over to the little town of Leadore for the night. We knew we needed to make it to Leadore before 5 o'clock, because the only gas station in town closed at 5, and we needed some food and provisions for dinner tonight and also tomorrow's ride. We didn't think either of the two little restaurants in this small town of only about 100 people would be open on a Sunday. So our best hope was the Stage Stop gas station.
Oh yeah, that is a beauty. That'd send you right down there. first two people we've seen today.
Alright, well, good talking to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are you guys headed?
We're
Long run.
hopefully almost to Canada. We're doing a tour of Idaho. And
Yeah.
we're
I
on-
see that.
Yeah, we're on day 3 of 13 days.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, have a good time.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
See you guys later. Have fun. Luke said there's a log over the trail, not to hit your head on it. If he goes first, it makes me wonder if he hit his head on it. Okay. That could have been the tree. I don't know.
At this point, it was about 4 o'clock. We had one more final push down into Leadore. It looked like we were going to make it before our 5 o'clock deadline and get some food at the gas station, so we were pretty happy to be heading downhill.
Made it down to this dirt road anyways. I think we decided there's only one deli open in Leadore today that actually closes at 5. It's 4:23, so we don't know if we're gonna make it or not. Otherwise, we'll just be eating whatever we have left in our packs today and tomorrow.
As we rolled into Leadore, we were excited to have made it before 5 o'clock. The only gas station in town looked empty though. The stage stop junction was scheduled to close at 5, but we learned right here that they changed their Sunday closing time to 4.
It says 4.
Wow.
Unless there's another one I don't know about.
That's crazy.
We had learned from our research that no other food options were available on Sunday evenings in Leadore. The only 2 small restaurants weren't open again until Monday night, so obviously we were quite discouraged. But just in case, we decided to drive a little farther down the road and see if there were any food establishments open that perhaps we hadn't heard about. As we were riding by, we noticed the owners of the Mustang Inn sitting out on their front porch, which unfortunately we hadn't heard of. You can't hear the conversation very well, but Luke was asking them if they knew of any other place to get food. They didn't. Interestingly, they also thought the gas station was open until 5 o'clock, but as we had already learned, it wasn't. We were beginning to realize that we would have to use whatever we had left in our packs to make do for dinner tonight, and all day tomorrow, since the scheduled opening time for the gas station wasn't until 9 a.m., and we needed to get an early start since day 4 was another 200+ mile day. Another thing we hadn't checked while we were over at the stage stop gas station was if the gas pumps were set up to accept credit cards after closing hours. If they weren't, we would have another major problem, since we couldn't get gas again until tomorrow night. Luke apologized for not booking a room with the owners of the Mustang since we hadn't heard of them, and told them that we would next time we rolled through, and thanked them for their help. Miraculously, or by sheer luck, the saint who had been working at the gas station had been closing up and saw us come and go the first time that we were there. She had waited a bit, and when we came back, she decided to open up just for us so that we could grab some food and fuel. It was a definite boost and much needed. We knew that our rooms at the Homestead Motel had microwaves, and one of them even had a small oven. So we grabbed frozen pizza bites, burritos, drinks, and all the trimmings for a professional homemade gas station style dinner. We also had plenty of time to look over the bikes and do some maintenance and small repairs. We got cleaned up and hit the sack early too. All in all, it was a great day 3, and now we were ready for day 4.